This summer, espadrilles are available in all manner of styles, shapes and materials. But they all have one thing in common: soles made from jute rope or other plant fibres. Exclusive boutiques like Theresa in Munich are stocking upmarket espadrilles from Europe's top fashion labels. Keimer Grande is the chief fashion editor for the German edition of Glamour magazine. He's taken a good look at the luxury espadrilles.
The soles have been very popular for years, but now there are really great new variations. For instance, Prada has strengthened the soles with rubber. I've brought one along. That's the biggest problem with these shoes. They soak up water. At least the hemp soles do. So Prada has put a big wedge of rubber underneath. Many designers have followed this trend, including Louboutin, Celine and Balenciaga. You'll find espadrilles in every major shoe collection.
The shoe company Castaner has been producing espadrilles since 1927. The machines at their factory in Banyoles near Barcelona date from this era. But the tradition of making espadrilles goes back much further. Farmers in this part of Spain are thought to have worn shoes made from plant fibres in the late Middle Ages. Luis Castaner is one of the managing directors and the eldest son in this family business.
The fascinating thing about espadrilles is that you're working with a very natural product. We still do a lot by hand, using traditional craftsmanship. At the same time, we work in the fashion industry, which is exciting. I think lots of people like our shoes because we have so many years of experience making espadrilles.
Bast fibres like jute are the most important material that go into making the soles. They're twisted into rope and rolled up to form the espadrille sole. Then they're pressed into shape with a hot iron and stitched together with natural thread.
You have to keep checking the seams to ensure the quality of the soles. The seam must always be even. This sole is perfect. But with this one here, you can see it's a bit loose at one point, so in this case it must be remade.
Espadrilles started out as simple shoes for farm workers. Castaner continued to produce the most basic models until the 1960s.
The original espadrilles were quite practical for farm work in warmer countries. You barely sweat in them, and agriculture was still very important in Spain in the 1950s and 60s. Almost everyone wore espadrilles. This lace-up model was the most popular in the first half of the 20th century.
Espadrilles first became fashionable in the 1950s and 60s. Famous artists and public figures wore them on vacation in the Mediterranean, like Salvador Dali, Grace Kelly, Humphrey Bogart, American President John F. Kennedy, and actress and fashion icon Audrey Hepburn. "78-year-old Isabel Castaner runs the family business. Today, hers is an exclusive brand, thanks to her friendship with a legendary fashion designer.
We were showing these plain espadrilles at a fair in Paris, and Yves Saint Laurent arrived. He thought they were great because they were sewn by hand. He told me he wanted to see more of them and that he'd make a sketch. This is his original design, with the wedge heel. So we had to completely redesign the shoe with the heels, and we succeeded. Yves Saint Laurent really liked them, and it was the start of a new era at Castaner.
It heralded a new era with new models in a variety of materials and with a range of heels. In the 1980s, the classic cheap espadrilles experienced a resurgence in popularity in all sorts of bright colours. The Castaner family are constantly working on new designs. They sell the shoes under their own name in over 35 countries. They also produce espadrilles for luxury brands, such as Christian Louboutin, Cristobal Balenciaga, and Pierre Hardy.
The image of espadrilles has completely changed in recent years. In the 1980s, it was a cheap shoe for the masses. But now that designers have turned them into a cult object, they have a fabulous image and have become trendy, hip, and even a luxury item.
Espadrilles have come a long way, from summer slip-ons for farmers to must-have footwear for the summer of 2011.